Hello everyone, it's Geisha. I made this journal not so long ago and I will take you along on how it's made from start to finish. Yeah, let's get at it. I've collected a whole bunch of random pages, writing coffee dye paper, printed paper that I played with, how it would dye, how it would paint, and I'm going to select 5 pages together to make into a signature. And a signature is the part of the book where the pages are folded Now when paper has been dyed or painted, it might not necessarily be the same size anymore, and it might be a little off, sometimes not even have straight corners anymore or straight edges. So I will line up the straight edge over here and trim if it is necessary. So, and every signature will have a random piece of papers in it. Next thing I do is I will score or press with a bone folder or scoreboard. You could do it with the back of your scissors. Then I decide which one I want on the front. This one, I'll put everything together like so. Nope, I would like this one to go here. And then maybe this one. This paper has some interesting patterns on it that I quite like. I have no idea how it happened. That's usually how it is when you paint or dye something. It's not always. So this is now when you have 4 or 5 pages together, this is called a signature. I will press one more time. And when I've done them all, I will check how wide this is, and with my ruler and cutter we'll trim them all to the same size. 5/3 seems to be a size where all the pages end up with. Okay, and I will do this with all my pages, and I will come back when this is finished. Okay, I'm back. I've lined up each signature, cut off all the excess, and they're all now all the same size. And now it's time to make holes for sewing the signatures together. I will be using a thick pin, but you can also use a seam ripper or an awl or anything else that has a sharp point. I made myself a template so that all the holes are always in the same place, so that in the end hopefully all the signatures line up very well. I've put a paper clip here so that I right away know where the middle is, and I put my template here. Now I have 8 holes here, 1/2 inch from each edge, which is 12.5 millimeters, 4 centimeters in, which is 1/9/16 of an inch, then a centimeter, which is 3/8 of an inch. Then I folded it in half to find the middle, and 1/2 centimeter to each side, so make another centimeter, which is 3/8 of an inch, and then on that side mirror what is over there. I'll place this over here, and with my pokey tool poke holes in each signature. And the top of my, I always use how I wrote everything down. This is the top of my page of my signature, so that I always have it right, even though if I might have been off a little bit. I will line up the top so that they all start from the top the same way. I will do this with the rest and then I will be back. Okay, so all my signatures are now the same size. I have 3 here as an example to sew everything together. We are always working from the back, so this is my last signature. And I'm working on a box because it works a little bit easier to work off an edge. And you need an amount of thread, the length times the amount of signatures you have. So that was 2, 3, and I will count 10 plus 1 extra for tying on and off. And I'm using crochet thread. It's very strong, but you can use anything you want. Now, pardon my hands, I have been dyeing paper and it stains a lot because I'm using dyes from my fabric dye, diluted, but still. So we're sewing we're starting at the back, the last signature. This is my second last, third last, and so on. And we're coming in from the outside towards the end, to the middle of your signature. And if you can't find a hole right away, wiggle your needle around a little bit to find the hole so that all the pages line up. And we're going to leave about 4 or 5 inches for tying off. Okay, next hole coming out. And we're weaving through our pages to the other side. Okay, I think I'm going to make a new hole there. This is cotton thread that has a tendency to curl, so I suggest you use a waxed linen thread. I think it's easier on your sewing. And I'm not too concerned yet about how tight my stitching is. We will get around that when we are tying the second signature to the first. And I have paper clipped my pages together so that I can easily find the center and back. Alright, so now I'm at the end. Carefully flip this over so that everything stays in the same order as that you have intended your signatures to be in. And we're now going in our second signature from the outside to the in. Again, it's not too important yet how tight your stitching is. Well, I really poked myself there. Hope it's not gonna bleed. Now to attach the signatures to each other, we've created a loop in the last, in the first signature we created loops. Now we're just gonna sew through the loops, pull through, and continue stitching. And we do this with every loop we made in the last signature. Oh, that was one too far. Well, I'm just gonna go back and hope I don't poke my thread. stitch around the loop of the first signature to tie them all together, and we pull everything taut when I've reached the end of the second signature. Again, loop around. And one more. Now we're gonna pull everything so that it is nice and taut, but not too taut. Tight, not too tight. Go to the first signature, do the same thing. And we're going to tie these together with a regular square knot. Not too tight. All right. Now we're going to add our third signature, flipping it over so that it stays the same way up. And continue to the other side. Now you have to find the loop of the second signature. And stitch around that one. So now the third signature is attached to the second signature. Again, going from the outside in. And pulling. Again, find the loop of the second signature and sew through. One last loop to sew through. Stitch from the outside in and from the inside out. To attach this end to these, you simply insert your needle between the second and third last signature, almost, make a knot and pull, but not too tight. And continue sewing all the signatures together until all your signatures are in a signature block. I will come back when everything is finished. Okay, I'm back. One more thing. For the last stitch, we just simply make another knot on top of the previous one to tie off our thread and make it secure. Alrighty, so all the signatures are sewn together. Now, to prevent each signature from shifting amongst each other, I am going to glue a little piece of fabric around this and attach it like so, so that they all stay together and not shift amongst themselves. So I will glue that, and the glue that I'm using is Golden Gel Medium. When it is dry, it is really, I'll apply this with my fingers because a brush will be, okay, I don't think I want too much of that over there. Mostly on the sewn edges here. And this is absolutely not traditional at all. This is what I just made up to do with my signatures. Try to have the end of my rope, end of my string in here. And the fabric that I choose is just a piece of fabric that I have laying about, and it's very thin. You don't want too thick a thread, too thick of a fabric, because it's gonna make a ridge when we are inserting our end papers. Okay. Oh, and look at my fingers. I've been dyeing papers again without gloves. I dye my papers also with fabric dye because I have it. Okay, let's try this. Sort of kind of center it so that each side has enough fabric left. I'll probably need to add a bit more glue. Bits will disappear when I'm going to add the end papers. And I have this in a homemade book press, just a few, 2 planks with some screws and nuts through it to hold it all together. Okay, now hope this is going to be okay. Not going to shift too much amongst each other, and I will let this dry. Alright, well, you're not going to see this anyway. This will be hidden between the spine of the book. Alright, see you in a bit. Okay, the glue has dried, but I'm not sure if there's if it is attached well enough, so I'll just add a little glue through the fabric and hopefully it will adhere itself to the signature block. This glue dries, oh, how do you say that? Flexible. So I hope that when the book is used, the glue doesn't break. At least it should not. Okay. Looks like a fair enough amount. I'll let this dry and I'll come back. Okay, we'll be briefly talking about our cover and our end pages. This video is going to be very long. I might cut it in half and continue on a different time. I'm going to make a soft cover, which means my cover is flexible. I can use a file folder for this, but I found this that I had made quite a while ago. This is wallpaper, and I glued all my Bounty papers that I mop up my paints and dyes with, and I just glued them randomly on my wallpaper, and it's nice and flexible. I might have used the same glue that I used to glue the signatures, and I will be cutting this to size so that it fits nicely. And these are my end papers. They will attach the block, the signature block, to my cover. And I will do a little bit of embellishing, maybe making a pocket and making sure that the front looks nice. And then I will be back to show the result. And this might be in a different video. Talk later.